Have you guys heard about the homeless program thing that supposedly New York has done?
No.
New York City, at least, I think, where I guess, like, it's hard not to reference San Francisco because they have this horrible problem with San Francisco, like tent cities, basically, and like people shooting up drugs on the sidewalks and pooping on the sidewalk and attacking people and robbing places on a daily basis. All this kind of crazy stuff going on. It's like
what's wrong with humanity?
Nightmare. Well, a lot of it's drug use, and because the weather's so nice there, when people are going to be homeless, they migrate there because it's easy to exist there. But I guess New York maybe is scared of that happening to them or something. I don't really remember the details, but essentially what I understand is that they create a program to relocate homeless people. So what they did with this program, and in many cases, from what I understand, is not be known to the cities that they're quote unquote collaborating with, is they're setting up like apartments or like housing for homeless people, giving them $1,000, I think, and paying for a year's worth of their rent and shipping them to other cities across the country.
Wow. So
it's like, we're getting too many homeless people here. We can't handle it. We're going to export them to other counties, other cities. So the article, only thing I've seen about this is from Temple's videos, but he was reading an article, and the publication that wrote the article, the journalist, I think, reached out to some of these cities to ask them about it, like what they think about this policy and stuff. And a number of them were like, they didn't even know about it. They didn't know that New York is exporting their homeless to their city. And it's just like the most amazing, like, it's disturbing and amazing at the same time, the fact that you're exporting people like they're cattle to another place without telling that place that you're sending them there. And they're already homeless and probably have issues that got them to be homeless. So you think that just giving them some money and a bus ticket and paying for rent for a year is going to help them start a new life? I mean, I think that would be a huge leg up for a lot of people. But most people don't end up homeless because they can function well.
I figure that most homeless people became homeless because of like their addictions that they have, and they couldn't like keep up with rent or anything because of the addictions they have to pay for.
Yeah, it's addictions or it's mental illness, like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, I think is a big one. A lot of people who are homeless
if you can't pay for like medication for it.
Yeah, you can't afford medication. You can't. I don't know. Some people, I think, like, regardless of medication, just kind of their issues are too bad. I don't know. But that was just like, it's disturbing and hilarious at the same time. It's just like, hey, what do we do about all these homeless people? I was like, send them to Florida. I was like, that's so horrible.
Problem.
It's not our problem anymore. We're in New York City. It's pretty funny. And like the whole San Francisco thing, that's a whole nother topic. Being you acted like you were aware of that more so than crazy.
I've heard of it, but
did you hear that story about the woman who, I can't remember what she was doing. She worked somewhere or was just out and about or whatever, and she was walking back to her car, and this homeless guy came up to her and was like, I don't know what, I think they said that he was kind of like accosting her, like confronting her and like being crazy and accusing her of stuff or whatever. And then I think she had her car door open, I guess, maybe trying to get into her car, or at least at the time that he came up to her, she had her door open trying to get into her car. And supposedly he I'm trying to remember, he grabbed her and like pushed her where she kind of like fell into her car or something, And then he had a bucket of his own diarrhea.
Ew.
And dumped it on her.
What the hell, man? That's gross.
Did you hear about that, Bean?
no.
It is so gross.
So it got all over her, all in her car. And, obviously he's mentally ill or something. And she said, like, he must have been saving it up because there was so much.
Gross.
So, like, that's... The story itself is hilarious. and gross and like sad all at the same time. But the most disturbing thing about it, like you go, oh, that's really gross, you know, like getting diarrhea from some homeless person dumped on you. You know, that's nasty. Like I would, it makes me want to throw up or whatever. It's like, you know, everyone gets repulsed and disgusted by such an occurrence. The problem is, because that happened, she has to go like periodically, like every couple of months or something, and be tested for diseases and stuff now.
Oh, wow.
So like, it's not just this like traumatizing event. Like this actually is her life now. Like she has to be affected by this and go be tested and stuff to see if there was any communicable diseases he may have shared with her and stuff. Because one of the things there, if I'm not mistaken, like I'm pretty sure it was San Francisco because of it, but like, was it the Black Plague or something that was actually discovered there again or something because of this, the unsanitary conditions due to the homelessness and stuff? Could be getting some details mixed up there, but there are some weird like old diseases and things that were more or less eradicated that are popping its head up, or their heads up or whatever, due to the conditions there now.